from Man City Fan Chat. How you all doing tonight? Hope you're all well, guys. If you've been working, hope you're nice and relaxed. I guess the ones who've been at college or university, that must be over for the summer, so you can take it easy. And if you're taking it easy, I hope you have been taking it easy. I wonder what you guys have been up to. Just gonna get my channel up. Let's see if we can get on live. Mike, how you doing, Mike? Hey, Football Fan Chat, how you doing? If I remember right, you've got 800 subscribers now, Football Fan Chat. Sounds like a lot. It's about 100 more than me, mate. Joseph, how you doing, mate? Well, I'm not sure about the t-shirt, Joseph. You've not seen much of it. It's only a little bit of a black t-shirt. Hi, Chris. You're in Boston. Wow. Chris is in Boston. Yes. I tell you what, that's some commitment to following your team all the way. Just get me seat better. All the way to America to follow them. Well done, Chris. Big up to you, mate. Robert, how you doing, mate? I hope you're good. Yes, Robert. I'm not so bad. I feel better when I can get down to a gym somewhere and do some exercise. I've been looking around at gyms to do some boxing and just get down to the gym and do some workouts. I tell you what, guys, this London. I used to live here before, so I know it's expensive, but come on, it's 3 or 4 times more expensive than back home. Absolutely crazy. It's like, how much? What these guys are charging. People pay it. I can't believe it. Absolutely can't believe it. Zippo, what's good? Right? Super excited to signing Sting. Delph gone to. Yeah, it looks like signing Sting. It's part of my what I'm going to chat about today. One of the things, trying to keep you up to date. Hi Ray, how you doing, mate? How's Blackpool? English Mastiff. Hi. See, Maguire is playing for Leicester City right now. Yeah, I mean, United are going to have to pay a little bit more, and then maybe Maguire will go. It's not much of a... Is it a step up? In terms of club stature and status, yes, it's a step up for Maguire. But in terms of where they're going to finish next season, there might be some flip-flopping. It could be United in 7th or 8th next season. AK850. Anyone here seen how much it is for a Citizen account? What exactly talking about AK850? I think it's 25 quid to be a Citizen member, which entitles you to slight priority over tickets against someone who's on who waits for general sale, and I think a £5 off tickets when you buy them. The new City TV app, I think was it £1.99 or basically £2 a month. Although I think for some people they're getting it for £1 a month. I mean, it's not exactly going to break the bank either way. That's another thing we're going to talk about, the new City TV app. We'll talk about company's farewell speech, a little bit about Bernardo and Rodri, things that Pep said about Rodri. Hi Kamal, hope you're well. Hope you're well, Chris. City always linked with Isco, just like us with Osman Dembele. Hello, Chris. The Isco link's been going ever since he didn't come to us when he was at Malaga, and we thought we'd got him from Pellegrini, and Real Madrid stepped in and nicked him from under our very noses, just because of that. Was it under-20 World Cup or Euros or under-21s where he did really well? We were just waiting till after the competition to sign him, and then whilst he was away, got his head turned, people got at him, and he never came to City. We thought he was ours. But he's never going to come to City, unless he's come to carrying the drinks, but he's not coming. Trin MCFC, how do you even get the City app for the TV thing? It's not easy, mate. I think you need a Fire Stick, or there's a couple of ways to get it. Fire Stick, I can't remember the others. And I suspect there's, I've done some digging around today. If you've got a Mac, the next update that iOS do, the next update on a Mac, they're talking about having the Apple TV built in. And if you've got Apple TV built in, I think you can get it direct to your Mac. Right now, you're doing it on your telly or via Kindle or Apple TV, something like that. It's a real crazy thing because I've got an iPhone, I've got an iPad, I've got a MacBook Pro. I can't watch Apple TV on my MacBook Pro. And there are ways around it. There are ways around it. Just pay a bit more money to get other apps. So, you know, I think if I buy another app, was it 10 or 15 quid or something, or 10 quid, I can watch it on my laptop, but I've not looked into that yet. Just watch it off your telly. Spencer's Mark, good evening, mate. How you doing? Zippo Butulese. Anyone excited about seeing KDB, Rodri, and Bernardo Silva's midfield trio? Absolutely, mate. It's going to be awesome, I think we can say. Joseph, thoughts on Pep saying we won't sign a centre-back? He believes Garcia and Hayward Bellis are suitable squad players. Well, Garcia, I think yes. I have no doubt that Garcia can be a good squad player. Taylor Howard Bellis, was it 17 years old? Well, having said that, Garcia is only 18, so it's only 1 year in it. And maybe they could be our centre-back pairing for the Carabao Cup. That'd be a very, very big call to have them as a centre-back pairing for the Carabao Cup. Very big call indeed. So just a quick recap. Here's your recap. New City TV app, we'll talk about that. Company's farewell speech, and a little bit about what Bernardo said, Rodri and Pep. Let's have a look. Yeah, Muckun, it's limited to smart TVs. My telly's ain't smart. I bought it ages ago. I've got a smart TV in France. I might just bring that back. Just left it. You end up, to be honest, with loads of TVs. You've got I can't remember how big it is now, 40-inch TV at home. And then in France, while we were there, we've got a couple of tellies. One smart one, and then one that actually when we used to live in Dubai, when we had our stuff sent back over from Dubai, we've got another TV there as well. So I think we've got about three or four TVs, but it's just daft, isn't it? It really is daft, and it ends up, you know, the kids will take one of the smaller tellies, and you know they'll be happy with that. CJW, are you apologising or are you praying, CJW? Ray Ballo, got the City app on my Fire Stick. It's not bad. Hope they're going to do some academy games. I hope so, Ray. I hope they can do. I mean, I've seen some of the academy games on Facebook, but obviously it's a lot better watching it on your nice big smart TV. So if they can do this, all the academy games, would be great. EDS Academy, whatever they can, and even if they can get the women's games as well, if they can get any of them on that app as well, I think it'd be really, really good. That's the kind of additional content I want. I don't really want a bit more additional content of, like, you know, around the training ground. That they'll put some out on the for free, and then some of similar content on the app. I don't think that's great. It's when you're actually putting matches out, and you could even put, I mean, I don't mind put the matches on Facebook, put them on the telly so you can actually watch them in big screen. Yes, I know you can get you know, these mirroring apps and wires and everything to connect your laptop or your iPhone or your tablet to your telly, but surely it's a lot better to just have it running off your telly. But I don't even have a TV now that I use my... Absolutely, mate. I use my laptop for almost everything. I've still got a telly. I mean, I had a telly, you know, the telly I've got at home, a big Samsung one. Is that... I can't remember how big it is. It's at least 40 inches. And I bought that. I must have bought that 8 or 10 years ago. You know, it's not done me any harm, but it's not a smart... I don't think it's a smart telly. But I use my laptop for everything with this, you know, MacBook Pro. It's pretty decent. CJW, no worries, mate. It looks like all is forgiven for the time being. If Cole's around, Cole's the boss. Hi, Chris. Hope you're well, mate. Thanks. How you doing? Football Fan Chat, how's your laptop? Is it slow? Look, mate, the only reason my laptop's slow is because I've got so much junk on there, so much video. I've got, off the top of my head, best part of 400 gigabytes out of 500, stuff with videos and pictures. I've got tens of thousands of photos over the years, tens of thousands from some of the shows I've done. We take a lot of pictures of flowers. My wife and I love flowers, so you know, go to botanical gardens, and you'd be amazed what beautiful flowers you can get just on the street. So we've got thousands of pictures of flowers and animals and stuff, gardens and stuff, wildlife parks, whatever. So especially, I remember we went to Malaysia a few years back. You know, I must have come back with about 3,000 pictures. Those are the ones I kept. I'd done loads. You know, when I used to do some photography on my bubble shoots, I could come back with between 3,000 and 5,000 photos for every single shoot. Then you have to, go through them all and get them down to like the best 20 or something. So that's the only reason my laptop slows down. OBS is. I take it you're not pleased with OBS. Let's have a look. Howard Bellis is 17 and 6'2". Hardwood or Harwood? Send it over, football fan chat. I'm really, honestly struggling for time at the moment, but send it over. If it's OBS, don't send it over. Ray, you got the City app? It's not bad up. Yeah, we talked about the Academy Games. I think Kamali must be out. I've not listened to it. He was talking to the press today, I think, but I've not had the time. I've been out most of the day with the kids. Yeah, football fan chat. Send me a link, please. I'll have a look at that. Robert, am I going to watch the football game, the West Ham game? I'll watch most of it. My wife decided today to book my kids on some IT stuff tomorrow. I can't remember. I don't know what they're doing. I honestly no idea what they're doing. So I heard her booking it. This was it 6 o'clock? She was booking it for tomorrow. And it's like, hang on, I can't match tomorrow, so I've got to pick them up about 3:30, 4:15, and it's the other side of town. So I'm gonna hopefully get to the end of the game and then head over straight away. I might have to leave 5 or 10 minutes before the end of the game, but look, it's only friendly. We'll see. But I will watch most of the game. It's even going to be better without my kids. I love my kids, but let them go on a course. I'll watch the football in peace and quiet. Might even be able to go to a boxing session at lunchtime. But look, these sessions are like in a group, in a class. You're looking at paying around 20 quid. 20 quid for an hour of workout. It's like, excuse me, how much is that? I'm used to paying. I'm paying at my gym up north. I'm paying for me and my 2 kids. I'm paying 100 quid a month, which I think is more than reasonable, since I get to use the gym, and it's open at 7 in the morning till 10 or 11 at night. And we've got all the martial arts program during the week. 2 or 3 classes every evening for the adults, and 1 or 2 classes every evening for the kids. Tons of stuff for 100 quid a month. Here, to get that just for myself, I'll be paying 100 quid a month. It's absolutely crazy. But hey, London prices. So you got a 65-inch TV, mate. Wow. PS4 and it both sounds the business English massive. If we get to Champions League final, mate, if we don't get a ticket, we'll be around your house. I'm excited, Joseph. I'm excited for tomorrow. It's going to be, looking forward to. Pep's already said, and I'll let tidbits come out as we go. He's already said that Angelino and Rodri are going to play. It's going to do for me that. I want to see if not Garcia, sorry. Will he play Howard Bellis? Or is he there? Howard Bellis, he is. So it'll be interesting to see the centre-back combination. Interesting to see who he plays at right-back, because Kyle Walker can't play every game there. It'll be very, very interesting. Hi, Hassan Malik, hope you're well, mate. Let's try and catch up. Let's try and keep up tonight. Yeah, Mukunda, wish they could do something through your phone, because everybody's got phones everywhere these days. Chris Welsh, yeah, we start pre-season tomorrow. We've got a game tomorrow against West Ham. We'll have a game on Saturday or Sunday. And then we go to Hong Kong to play Kitchi. I'm really surprised. I was listening, I won't say whose podcast, so I can get a drink. I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and was it the day before, sorry. Yesterday or the day before. And they were talking about, some cities, and there's so many. Look, we all make errors, but some of them are basic. I mean, not to know, I've done any research to know that, and it's a podcast, so don't worry, I'm not talking about any other channel, that Kitchi were the champions in Hong Kong. But it's interesting sometimes, listening to other stuff. 150? I thought it was 130, English Mastiff. Don't tell me it's 150, because that screwed me. If it's I always thought it was 130. If it's 130, I can just maybe get to the end before I have to pick my kids up. West Ham should be good. Yeah, it should be a good game. We've got Manuel Pellegrini. They'll have Zabaleta there. I think Zabaleta's on tour. They had a lot of players from us. They had Joe Hart. There was talk of Mario Balotelli, but that never came through. Yeah, Chris's profile picture is a little bit. Thanks, Football Fan Chat. I'll have a look at that in a bit. Let's have a look. No USB Football Fan Chat. What I use Football Fan Chat, you can buy the expensive Apple ports, and I've got that. But this is what I use. I have one of these. It's a tiny, tiny port, very tiny. You plug it in, and to be honest, I never take it out. I can't remember how much it cost, about 10 or 12 quid, and it lasted me about 4 or 5 months before I broke it. I've got this unbreakable Apple charger. It's called Unbreakable, but guess what? I broke it in my pocket. I was bending down, and I broke this charger in my pocket. It's like, obviously, to call it unbreakable, they're not expecting you to break it, and I managed to break it. Let's have a look. Chris Welch, what's my favourite player? Kamal Alexander-Arnold, yeah. Herence, Malaysia, I lived in Kuala Lumpur for 5 years. Oh, Herence, you're lucky so-and-so, Herence. Because we went over to Malaysia the last time, was it 2 or 3 years? Must have been, let me think. Might have been 2 or 3 years ago. I'm just trying to remember. We went to a wedding of a friend. My wife knew as her daughter was getting married. And yeah, it was a huge function out in the jungle, about an hour and a half from Kuala Lumpur. And for Herence, the Datak was there. It's like a lord. No, sorry. Let me get this right. The Sultan was there, not we had a lord. My wife's friend's husband is a lord over in Malaysia, and basically the Sultan of the state came to the wedding. So I got pictures of the Sultan and his wife, and yeah, it was a huge function. What's the weather like in Boston, Chris? When am I back in Manchester? I'll be back in Manchester probably I've got a ticket booked on Friday. But I'm going to work at this castle on Saturday, Sunday, so 2 full-on days. I've got to be out the house before 7 in the morning just to get there and set up. It's going to be hectic, very hectic. But 2 solid days there, and then back to London on Monday. No, Football Fan Chat. I'm still in this in this apartment that we've got. Robert, company pre-writing game speech from what's seen. Yeah, amazing. I'm going to read some bits and pieces from post Watford. StreamYard. Let's make a note of that. StreamYard. Rob, I remember when you said that Alves deal won't happen. What's your space, pal? Oh no, Rob, no. I really don't want Alves. You know, I've got a bad feeling as well. The bad feeling is Cancelo's gone quiet, very quiet. Unless we promote one of the kids, and if Danilo leaves, who we've got no one. So the worst thing could be that we get Alves. I really don't want Alves. No matter how good he is, I haven't forgiven him. Search for the Apple TV and couldn't find it. And yeah, I think a lot of people have not been happy, Cobby. They struggled to get this sorted. Which is a real shame, you know. As I said to somebody, maybe City should have got Thomas Cook to launch this. Blimey, Mike, you're asking me this question. Have we got a 16-year-old centre midfielder who scored for Ireland under 19 at Euro under 19 championships? Absolutely no idea, Mike James. Have we got a 16-year-old? I mean, to be honest, I'm EDS, and that's about as far as I go now. I can't, off the top of my head. I'm rattling my brains. I can't think of anybody. Hey, Alan. Nice to see you on board, Alan. Hope you have a good time. And if you don't, let us know. Check it again, Ian, because I'd be really miffed. There you go. It says 1:30, I think. 1:30 kick-off, Mike. Wow, those 20 minutes, fantastic. That means I can probably just squeeze in the whole game. Yep, Kamal Rodri's going to play tomorrow. Are there any USB files you can use with the chargers? No, you got these, what do they call them? USB port Cs? The USB-Cs. You cannot use your normal, I don't know what you mean by USB files. You can't use your normal, let's pick a charger up for you. Give us a sec. So you can't use one of these, Chris. There's no way you can use one of them in an Apple, okay? In the new Apple laptops. You've got to be using a converter. Hi Abhishek, hope you're well, mate. Hope you're well. Mike says, Kamal, they will, yeah, I'll be playing. We can make up a 10 sub, so I reckon lots of people get a game. Kamal, did Pep actually say we're not signing centre back? Someone said that already, Kamal. Obviously there's only bits and pieces going through, and I've got my notes. So there's been a lot, that's come out from Pep. I've not managed to get hold of his press conference yet. Yeah, English Massive, I said that. Pep's already said Rodri and Angelino start. Yes, Alan, we could be, a lot of people. I think people are in two camps here, because some people have, one guy came on YouTube and was quite adamant that we're going to struggle at defence because we haven't got Kompany, we're not replacing like for like. And I said, well, Kompany played less than 30 games last season, yeah? Okay, he's a great defender, but we did most of the season, and our main two centre-backs were John Stones and Aymeric Laporte. So no matter how good Kompany was, he's not played a lot. And in fact, in the last two seasons, he's not played a lot at all. And he's played less than half the games in the league, especially in the league. So was it 17 games in each season in the league? Something like that. He's not played a lot of games. And in those two seasons, we managed to get 100 points and 98 points. I won 5 of the 6 domestic trophies. So, if that's getting by, more of the same. So I'm not worried at centre back. Honestly, I'm not worried. Mike, looking forward to seeing Howard, Bellis, Poveda, Bernabe, Rodri, and Metcher, Lucas Metcher. He might do, because obviously, from the way I look at it, I want to rest Sergio. And I want to give Sergio maybe 20 minutes at the end. Sorry, not Sergio. Sorry, take it back. Sergio's not going to be there because obviously played the Copa, and Jesus is not there because of the Copa. So why not Lucas Metcher up front? Why not? Maybe play a few minutes with maybe Sane up top or Sterling. Mix it up a bit. Yeah, Mike. Angelino looks like he's not been away. Chris, who's going to be captain? The rumours are that it's going to be David Silva because it's his last season. I've said many times I would prefer it to be KDB. I think he is a leader on the pitch. You've seen that he's very vocal. He will tell you if you made a mistake, and I don't think David Silva is that kind of grab you by the throat kind of captain. The English Massive, Aki rumours gone. All the rumours have gone now for centre-backs, really. The only rumour that's persisting seems to be for Dani Alves. Evening, Danny, 2ME. How you doing, mate? Joe Hodges, Ireland under 19. Well, I've honestly never heard it. I don't ever remember him, Joe Hodges. The problem is when you get to a certain age when you just can't remember all the players. Last season I was following the Twitter accounts of all the women, all the academy players, the EDS. Any of the kids. I follow a load of ex-players, the coaches, ex-City managers, like Bobby Mancini and Manuel Pellegrino. Everybody, I'd follow everybody. In the end, it's just too much. Why hasn't Morgan Rogers gone on tour? Isn't he just too young, Joseph? Off the top of my head, it's just too young. And also, he's had no time at City. I think it's different if you take a kid like Howard Bellis, who's been here a few years. He's 17 years old. He's been at City a few years. He's got some of the DNA. Or you take someone like Rodri, who's going to be in the first team. Angelino, who's going to be training with the first team. Yeah, Morgan Rogers isn't. I think that's simply the reason. Yeah, Mike, I think we've got to see how good Angelino is in that game, and put him up against some of the best. Let's, it'd be a stern test. Absolutely, Chris. We will miss company's leadership, but somebody else will step up. It's like any club. You lose some top leaders, some top players, but other people come through. The club goes on. Yeah, I'm surprised about Benjamin Gary. I thought he was tipped up. Obviously we don't know about things like niggling injuries, stuff like that. It could be all sorts of reasons why people haven't gone. Abhishek, did you ask me that yesterday, Bruno Fernandes? No. Fernandes with an S? No, I wouldn't go for Bruno Fernandes. I'm happy with what we've got, actually. Joseph, that's right. Foden will eventually replace Silva. I think that's the way it's going. McCund, who would I have at the start of the season at left back if Mendy isn't available? Well, basically what I do is that we've got 4 games and then the Community Shield. So I would probably have Zinchenko for a couple of them, Angelino for a couple, and then maybe in Community Shield, half a game each. Whoever does best overall, they start. Kamal, yeah, it's a tough one. It really is a tough one. I think maybe if Harry Maguire was at a good price, a price that was acceptable to us, we would have got him. But we're not going to be pushed around. Olivier Garni, what about Pedrino from Corinthians? Honestly, Olivier, never heard of him. Never heard of this Pedrino. So sorry, he's not a name that's crossed my list. And to be honest, unless he's under 21 and we can get a work permit for him, ain't happening. Yeah, English master. Bruno Fernandes would kill Foden's chance of playing. Play Foden than buying. Yeah, look, Foden's ready to step up this season to even more games, and I'm happy with that. Chris, what was Zinchenko's role this season? Angelo's arrival. It depends. I think it's going to depend on Mendy. If Mendy isn't fit or gets injured again long term, then Zinchenko and Angelino will basically take up 60 games at left back between the two of them. Twazi on Metcha to start versus West Ham, Mike. I'd give Lucas a go. It depends on how they view them and who they think is the best. I'd go for Metcha because he played for Preston in the Championship and Twazi's only been playing in the EDS. So I'd probably go for Metcha the first half and then maybe Twazi the second. Twazi. Mike, you've been doing a lot of research. Yeah, I just haven't had time. That's the truth, What with a lot of projects I'm doing and working on the women's team as well this season. I've been working, in the last couple of days on that. I've got so much response, so much positive response, so much goodwill out there. There's so many people, men and women, who want, something from the fans' perspective on the women's team. I've got lots of different groups involved. It's, I'm actually, can I say it? I'm more excited about the start of the women's season than I am for the start of the men's. I'm excited for the start of the men's, but the women's it's just something new for me. And it's different, and there's so many people involved on that project. It's going to be great. So Mike James is our man for under 18s and 23s. Yeah, Kamal, Zinchenko will play a lot of games. I'm sure of that. What do you think of the switcher? The one I'm using now, it's fine. I've had a couple of problems with it, and I've had a 14-day free trial. I'm going to have to buy it now because I didn't get to 1,000 subscribers. So I'm going to buy the switcher. I don't even know how much it is. It's $20 or $30, and I'm quite happy to give it a go. Generally, one of the only problems I have with that football fan chat is sometimes when you're setting up the finish time of your event, it switches between the morning and afternoon, and sometimes you end up putting the end of the event before the start of the event, and then there's an error, so you end up wasting a little bit of time. It's a bit frustrating. Angelina's versus Salah in the Community Shield, that'd be interesting, Mike. Rissi Corleone, we have Laporte and Rodri on the same team. That is mint. Well, we're going to see what happens, mate. We're going to see. I think we'll find out over the next 3 or 4 days. I think most of the team will play in the next 3 or 4 days. Exactly, Kamal. You don't get people like company knocking about. Jeremiah, I couldn't send messages to Kevin Parker on Twitter. Keep getting messages that I can send messages to him. I don't know then, Jeremiah. Try. There's one called OSC. I think you just have to search on Twitter OSC. And it is there. They've set up a new one, and it just might be they're moving from an old one to a new one. I don't know, Jeremiah. Just keep plugging away. I have to be honest, City are less accessible than they used to be. There you go, Chris. I think that's an indictment on Fernandes if Chris would rather have Coutinho back than get Bruno Fernandes. Football fan chat, I think it can work. I think it can be exciting. It's a new thing. I'm not ready for it yet. I think I've got to calm down a bit, you know, and get things sorted. I've just got too much going on. Joseph Beatty, VVD is as good as just as good as Kamal. What's that, Joseph? VVD is as good as Kamal. Kamal Dwyer is as good as VVD. Football fan chat, United stand hitting 500k. Well, there's people just watching it for... Anybody who's watching it as a serious channel is a fool. Most people, it's like a parody account that. Most people, you know, want a bit of banter between Goldbridge and Mr. DT or some other junk. Goldbridge is a serious commentator? Nah, not buying that. Jeremiah, send me an email, Jeremiah. That will help me to remember. Send me an email. Here's the email address, and I'll see if I can get you a link. Okay. Let's have a quick look who else is on, and then let's go through the topics. There's not a lot. I mean, really, again, I don't think there's a lot until we play that first game tomorrow. Alan Bryan, Danny Alves chatting, and in truth, honestly, we don't know, mate. But I said the worry for me. Oh, come on. The worry for me is that about Dani Alves is it's all gone very, very quiet on Cancelo. There's nothing at all. And the only person we're hearing about is slightly is about Dani Alves. Sorry about the stream. Football fan chat, if Stephen was okay with you, to be honest, I don't think he'll ever be okay. 100% Chelsea. I've done a video with them, or I recorded them at after the Carabao Cup final. I think I had a chat with one of the guys there, Louis. That's his name, I think. Prediction for tomorrow. To be honest, doesn't matter, mate. It really doesn't matter. Otamendi hasn't gone. He's on in. He played in the Copper. MI5 agent. Well, I don't know about that, mate. I'm not far from there, I don't think. Leroy is. I think he's staying. All indications that Leroy is going to stay. Chris, are you surprised Otamendi will still be on a Pep? I think he can still stay another season. Yeah, I'd rather give Eric Garcia a go as well. Joseph says, Joseph Beatty, the defensive stability of Rodri with the creativity of Bernardo and KDB, supplying killer through balls to the pacey style. Oh, Joseph, you know, I'm wetting myself at the thought of that. Bernardo and KDB, Rodri behind them. And Rodri, don't forget, you know, Rodri's got a 90% in La Liga anyway, 90% success rate with his passing in the opposition half. Yeah, Kamal, can't help it. It's the Wi-Fi. It's the Wi-Fi. Yeah, I'm watching it live, guys. I can see it's buffered right now. I'll try and get through the topics quick because there's nothing you can do, you know. You're paying for your services and there's nothing you can do. So, I can't. It's not as if I can go to a McDonald's nearby because there's nothing like that here. I think we're a bit more classy than having a McDonald's. Let's have a quick drink. Okay, let's go through some topics, guys, before this stream dies. Let's go. Let's pick it up. Let's pick it up. Let's pick it up. Okay. Let's talk about. Should we talk about Bernardo? What Bernardo said? He said about this coming up season. He said we want to try to do even better. Mostly it's a young team, and 2 years ago, 90% of players had never won the Premier League. I think it might be slightly out with that 90%. Anyway. So we need titles in our career, and we are still hungry. We are not happy yet, and we want to go for more. The standards of this team are high, but this team wants to go forward in all competitions, knowing that it's difficult season after season, but we'll try to do it again. So, yeah, it's the kind of stuff you want to hear. Okay, what else has he said? So Bernardo believes the Nanjing fixture will provide the perfect platform for the players, in stepping up preparation for the new season. It's our first game, and we want to try and find the best physical condition, and that's our priority. It's a team, West Ham. We know well as we play against them every season at least twice. We want to win and play well and prepare well for the season. The most important thing is to try and gain the best physical condition. But this team always plays to win, and that's what we will try and do tomorrow. We will train well, look to score and not to concede, and try to win the trophy. So yeah, he's also mentioned that it's the first time he's been to China. He's very happy to be there. Well, obviously he's got to say that. He said, "I'm very excited and looking forward to see how it is here and in Hong Kong and then Japan. I have big expectations. The people look great coming here to help us and support us. And now it's time to prepare for the games and the season. We are very happy to be here, and we hope that we can give them, our Chinese supporters, the best football we can and to make them happy." Let's be honest, let's be honest. That's the kind of thing you've got to say. Stream is struggling, but that's what you got to say. Hey, Liban, hope you're doing well. How's it going, Liban? Hi, Shakti. Vidya, hi. I'm gonna wrap up soon if this Wi-Fi just can't work properly. I'm really gutted by this Wi-Fi. Really gutted. I don't know how far behind me you are. I stopped using my phone for this because of streaming issues. I'm on the Wi-Fi, it should be fine. And it isn't. Absolute bummer. Let's go through the next topic. What's Pep said about Rodri? Well, apparently Pep said Rodri is going to be an important player for the next 5 or 6 years. For me, the guy's only 23. I want him to be an important player for the next 10 years. But what else has Guardiola said? He said he's a young player who's going to be important for the next 5 or 6 years. The first 10 days have been really good. He will play his first game tomorrow. He and Angelina will play tomorrow. So that's great, Let's have a look. He talked a little bit about Delph. He said it was an incredible 3 years for us. Personally, he helped me a lot and helped us a lot, especially 2 seasons ago when we won the league, with him playing in a position that he isn't used to. Normally, he's a midfield player, but he played fullback, and everyone here, all the club, all the staff, all his mates, wish him all the best in a big club like Everton. So nice things that Pep said about Fabian Delph. Let's move on. So we'll get through this. So Vincent Kompany, I'll go through some of what he said. Now, you might have seen some of this on the City TV app already, but I'm just going to go through the full speech. So this is what he said in the dressing room after the 6-0 win against Watford, his last game for the club. He said, "I just want to say thank you. Thank you for 11 years of experiences. Bad patches, good patches. Everything I have experienced with the club that I love, I'm so grateful." It's not going to be my best speech because it's the most emotional one I have ever given in my life. I'm glad that this is my last game. I wouldn't have wanted it any different. You guys are the best group of people I could have finished my City career with. I have gained new family members. I think you'll realise by the end, when you get to this point in your career, the people you remember are those who were there in the special moments. Everyone here is now part of my family. The challenge for you boys is to be even better. It's difficult to say. You've just won the English treble, but you haven't won the Champions League yet. That's your goal now. You've got such a group of players that can achieve anything they want. Don't party. A good celebration. Thank you. Wow. Wow. What a speech, eh? What a speech for VK. What a man. What a man. Chris, yeah, that's the problem, mate. You know, you're relying on somebody else's Wi-Fi, and let's be honest, if you're in a hotel and sometimes in residences, they don't they don't give you good stuff. I always query where you stay in a really nice hotel. You stay in a really nice hotel and they give you a crappy iron. They give you an absolute piece of rubbish sometimes, and I don't know if they, because I'm used to ironing. I've been ironing since I was a kid. You know, I iron my own clothes, my mum and dad's clothes. I iron all my kids' clothes. I iron all my own clothes. I'm used to it. I'm used to doing tons of ironing. I don't say I enjoy it, but I like just getting the job done. I like doing sometimes the jobs that other people hate, and it's no problem. But when they give you a crappy iron, it's really frustrating. And sometimes I wonder, is the reason that they want you to go and use their laundry service? You know, I really hate that. I mean, I've got to be honest, I've got an absolute stunning iron. It's a Philips steam. It's one of these big steam generators. It's absolutely fantastic. It's not as good as the one I had before that. I had that for about 4 or 5 years, another Philips one, but they're absolutely magnificent when they work, and I absolutely love them. And then to go from something like that to the iron we've got now, which is just like a mildly hot plate. I can't even spray any water on it. It's that basic an iron. It's crazy. See you, EM. Hope you have a good evening, mate. Absolutely, Chris Welch. Look, I said it before. He was City's Player of the Season when we won 3 trophies, all the domestic honours that were possible. We won them, and he was our best player. Portugal, they won the Nations League. He was a player of the tournament. He's got to be up there in the running, and I just don't think he will be, because there's not a lot of media behind him. He's not there shouting out, and there's not a lot of media shouting out on his behalf. It's a real shame. Well, Joseph, you're not getting a little bit too excited. Too much information there, Joseph Beattie. Yeah, Kamal, it comes and goes. You know, I wish I could stop it. But anyway, I've got 2 more days of this, and then Friday I'm coming up to Manchester. Joseph, Cancelo and Naki will make it worse. Yeah, well, it's all gone quiet, so let's see what happens. It's all gone quiet at the moment. Olivier Garnier, Eric Garcia will play for the first team this year. Let's just give you this, Herence. So, yeah, Olivier, look, Garcia played, off the top of my head, was it 2 or 4? We played 4 games last season for City. Possibly all in the Carabao Cup. He played in the semi-final against Burton, I do believe. So, he'll play some games for the first team, no doubt. It might just be restricted to the Carabao Cup. It might be, if we get through the Champions League, after 5 games, he can play the last game of the Champions League. That kind of thing. I can see him playing a lot in the Carabao Cup. I hope we play more kids, but I want to keep going through. I want to win it. You know, someone said if we can win the treble again, or a double, or even if we get something like the Carabao Cup and the Premier League again, that'd be amazing. 3 Carabao Cups on the bounce, 3 Premier Leagues on the bounce. That's almost Liverpool-esque or Man United-esque when they were unbelievably dominant, yeah, in the 70s, 80s and 90s. So to get something like that, you know, that's what my hope is. Yeah, Chris, it's a sad thing, you know. I think the first time I used it, I've used it a few times here and it's not been a problem. And so, you know, why it's going to happen, who knows. Joel Haaland, any updates on Cancelo and a new centre-half? Nothing, Joel. Apparently, the word on the street is that we've not heard anything about Cancelo. It's gone very quiet about Cancelo. Nothing on the right back. Don't know what's happening with Danilo for sure yet. The worry is a bit of the mumblings about Alves is still there, which, you know, I'm not keen on Dani Alves at all. I'll still say I'll be surprised if he comes. I'll be surprised and disappointed. Centre back, I believe Pep's now said that we can cope. using Eric Garcia and Fernandinho, and maybe Taylor Howard-Bellis, so for a few games here and there. I said Kompany played less than 30 games last season in total. And if you give a few games, more games to Otamendi, a few games to Garcia and Fernandinho, there you go. Kompany's quantity of games is covered quite easily. Obviously, his presence is different. It's just his quantity of games. Sorry, his quality, what he gives to you. We can cover the 20-odd games that he played without an issue. Yeah, Joseph, that's a shame. You know, like Pep said, look, I think if Kompany hadn't been injured for the last 5 years, there's no way he'd have been going. Absolutely no way, because he'd be at the top of his game. Olivia, I think he's very talented, so we need to give him a chance. Who, Olivia? Just got to check up. Eric Garcia. Yeah, Eric Garcia is extremely talented. You know, I think a lot of us who watched the preseason last year were shocked by how good he was. Absolutely a top dog. Vince Kompany, that's a hard one, Chris. Who are your best centre-backs in Premier League history? John Terry's obviously got to be there. You might look at Rio Ferdinand. Possibly Vidic and Kompany. I think Kompany's in the top 5, and it's just about where he's in that top 5. I think he's got to be, as a leader, he's got to be up there with Ferdinand and Terry. I think for me, Terry, for his longevity, for what he's done for Chelsea, he might pip it for me. I think Kompany's probably above Ferdinand, but it's very close around there. You know, I think, as I said, if Kompany had been fit for the last 5 years and had played at the level that we know he can, then he'd have been easy for me. Rob, as I didn't see your message, Rob. If you got a message on another channel, or send it to me. I'll talk about things briefly. I know. I'll just say this. I know. Apparently, other people have been talking about me. Let them. Yeah, we carry on. Let's not worry about it. I think, did Cole just moderate himself, Mukund? I think maybe he took away the email address I put in as well. Joseph first, Chris VVD will come a close second. VVD is far from the best. You know, he needs 3 or 4 good seasons, because let's be honest, let's be clear. 18 months ago, no one would have talked about VVD as being in the top 20 Premier League, maybe not even the top 50 centre backs. 18 months of Liverpool, now some people want to tag him as the best ever. Sorry, don't buy that. Sol Campbell, yeah, Sol Campbell was brilliant, Mike. You know, it's easy to forget some players who were fantastic. You know, some players who were fantastic in the Premier League era. You know, and not even talking about the players that came before the Premier League era. So easy to forget good players. Wow, Kamal, you've had it. Message deleted, Kamal. Kamal Dwyer has a message deleted. Steve Bruce, nah, I'm not. I think Steve Bruce was before, or around the turn of. He's not. If we're just talking Premier League era, maybe not enough. Yapstam, he was good. David, no, come on, Mike. I knew there was going to be Mangala's name would get mentioned. I just knew it. Absolutely knew it. No other centre back could have done what Kompany did against Leicester. That was phenomenal. That shot was just incredible. Look, it was a hit and hope. Let's be quite honest. In your American football, it's your Hail Mary. It's that 1 in 1,000 chance that it'll come off, and it came off. It came off. It came off in a spectacularly big way. Unbelievable. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Wow, I got to be honest, I'm a bit tired. It's a funny thing, I was telling my wife tonight, I said, look, on Sunday night, when I went out working on Sunday night, and we come down on the train, I probably had two or 3 hours broken sleep. Went out for a run, and I absolutely nailed it for me, averaging 7 42 per mile. For me, not my normal speed at the moment is about a minute per mile more. I absolutely nailed it. And then today, you think you'd step up, and today's been a bit lousy in terms of, I didn't go out for a run just because my wife had to go early to work. and I have to look after the kids. We walk to some, the normal attractions to Shrek and the London Eye. That's just under 1.5 miles, so it's a little bit of exercise, but it's just not the same. I want to get out and do stuff. Smalling and Jones, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Kamal, Terry's not a nice person, but yeah, I didn't. All right, yeah, yeah. Well, I think you would. Yeah, Terry's isn't, and I think the generally accepted opinion is John Terry's not a nice person. As a footballer, he's incredible. Kolo Touré, hey Chris, you can't not Kolo Touré. He's got medals and trophies. I don't think he got a trophy, the league titles as an Invincible. I think that was before his time. But look, the guy, at City, he was a laugh. I mean, look, Kolo Touré should get it just for the Yaya Kolo dance. That should be. Carvalho was very good. Jones and Smalling, oh no. Laurel and Hardimola, absolutely muckund. Marcel Desailly, I don't think he played long enough. Ashley Young, Tom and Jerry. You guys, I think you're taking the mick just a little bit. Tony Adams. When Tony Adams, I'm sure he was there in the late 80s, before the Premier League. Tony Adams. Another very strange individual, but top footballer. What about Steve Ball? Richard Dunn. Mike, has Richard still got the record for the most own goals? I think he has. Ledley King, another one who, but for injury, could have been even better. Kolo Touré, was it an Invincible? I thought it was close. Rio and Vidic, yeah. There's a lot of good players out there, but for me, still I'd say company. Alan Hansen, I think it's spelt with an E, and I think that was mostly before the Premier League era. Every time Kolo Touré won a league trophy, he went invincible. And the thing is, invisible or invincible? Kolo Touré's too fat to be invisible. Maybe I have to regulate myself for that naughty remark. No chance. I knew someone would say Jamie Carragher. No. I mean, all that aside, I'd say company still, with all those names you mentioned, has to be in the top 3. For me, for what he's achieved, I mean, he's got 4 Premier League titles. Not just the trophies, but 4 Premier League titles, 4 Carabao Cups, 2 FA Cups. It's a heck of a lot of trophies. 10 in 11 seasons, big trophies. Let's ignore the Community Shields. I think we got a couple. But it's the way he's done it. It's the way he's done it. Titus Bramble. I tell you what, Titus Bramble was still around, he'd be going for 20 million quid, 25, 30 million quid, like Tyrone Mings. Who got schooled by Mario? Everybody got schooled by Mario at some point. One of my favourite pictures is the Mario wink to Rio Ferdinand. It was at the FA Cup semi-final, and Rio Ferdinand lost it. Lost it for a wink. I like that. So what time is it? I'm just going to check. Doing about 5 or 6 minutes, guys. Mike James. Terry first, company second, Ferdinand third. Can't argue with that, mate. You can't argue with that. Mukun, could VVD be the best? No. Honestly, VVD would have to be at this level for the next 6 years. Honestly, 6 years to even get close to Terry. Because you've got to remember, Terry did it for more than 10 years at a top level. More than 10 years at a top level. VVD's done it for what? A season? Season and a half? William Gallas, another good shout. Another good shout, Chris. Vidic was destructive. He would have broken the other player for the absolutely footballing masses. Some of those players would run through brick walls. William Gallas was a very, very good player. Joseph beats Edison, Mendy, Stones, Laporte, Cancelo, Rodri, Bernardo, KDB, Sane, Sterling, Aguero. We need Cancelo. What a team. You got Edison spraying that ball left, right and centre. Mendy up and down, bombing it up and down. Cancelo bombing it up and down. Stones and Laporte serene and calm and controlling in defence. Rodri fantastic option at defensive midfielder. Bernardo and KDB. Oh, Sane, Sterling, Aguero, man, Joseph. What a team. Frank Sinclair. Spencer Mac. Frank Sinclair. Are we now going to look for the worst player we can find at centre-back? Mike James, you have to do it for at least 5 years. You're going to win the Premier League? Kamal, that's a good start. And to be honest, Kamal, you can't just win the Premier League once. You've got to win it twice. And maybe back-to-back. Yeah? What do you reckon? Oliver, again, thanks for your answer. I would love to know what you think about Pedrino. If you checked him, let us know in a few days. Pedrino. I never heard of Pedrino. I've got to be honest. I never heard of Pedrino. Never. Does he? I'm just checking. He plays for Corinthians. He's only a kid, man. I'll check him. I'll check him out. I've got him up to look. Boom Song. Wow. Boom Song. Who's the worst centre back, by the way, Mukun? Is that the new one? The worst centre back. Wow. Can't be Mangala. There's got to be worse ones than Mangala out there. Titus Sprumble's got to be up there. Let me have just a quick look, guys, to see if there's any more news on the wires. Let's have a look. Don't think there's any extra news out there. Just having a look. No, there's no more news on the wires. We're after Felix Correa, absolutely, Mike. So there's no more news out there, guys. It's all gone quiet on the wires. Is there anybody else to talk about? Well, I'm waiting for the new season. As I said, guys, I've got to watch this, get all your names to see who's contributed in a positive way. Remember, I'll do a draw. I'll make a decision. It might not actually be a draw. I'll just go look through who's made some positive contributions, contact people, just to see if they can go to the Community Shield final. And I'll pick a winner over the weekend, or probably Monday, or when I'm coming back on the train. I'll have a look through and pick a winner for the Community Shield final and contact them to see if they can go. And if they can't, then I'll just keep going through to somebody who can go. And fingers crossed, you know, the first person can go, and ticket will go to a good home. Spencer's and Mark, that's about 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, that Chelsea performance from Mangala. Everybody harps onto that, back to that. I still say, for a defender who's got pace and power and strength, decent in the air, yeah, Mangala's all right. But for what we want to do, he can't control the ball. He can't pass the ball. He hasn't got the confidence. You can see that. And Rigobert Song, wow. Chris Wells, which Manchester City was greatest in Premier League history? Like the one will be top in your opinion, guys. 100 points, 98 points when you challenged all the way. Well, I'll be honest, Chris, it was the same team. The only difference was we had Mahrez. It was the same team, so it's very hard. I think it was obviously harder to do in the second season because Liverpool pushed us all the way. But to be honest, it's the same team. Who's worse, Jones or Smalling? It's like looking into a mirror and seeing a donkey and trying to say who's the worst. It's very difficult to decide, Kamal. Thanks, Mukunda, 700 subs. Yeah, I think we're stuck now. I think we're going to be stuck till the season starts. You know, we certainly won't be getting 800 before the season starts, which is a real shame. See you, Chris. Have a good evening, mate. Have a good evening, mate. I'll and I hope Liverpool get stuffed. I hope they have a good game. Pascal Segan, wow, you're dragging up names here, Mike. Dragging up names. Guys, I think that's going to be my exit time as well. Sentimental reasons, Ray, that's why I like him. But I hear, yeah, Spencer Mark, look, we've all got our favourites. But Mangala did it, you know. Mike, Howard, Belly. Come on, I'll be honest, Mike. At the moment, that's doing Mangala a disservice because Mangala came with good thoughts. I mean, City did their homework. Let's get this right. City did their homework on Mangala. We would not have spent the money we did with Cheeky and everybody else if we didn't do our homework and weren't convinced. Sometimes these things happen. These things happen. Not everybody can work out whatever the reasons are. They happen, you know. And Mangala hasn't worked out. Yeah, Mangala's. You can tell because for the amount of City don't make a lot of mistakes. In all honesty, I'd say a lot more than half of City's transfers, especially recently in the last 5 or 6 years, have been very, very good. So why could we make such a mistake on Mangala? And it just might just be that coming to City flawed him, having a bad game or two, your confidence is gone, and then you're always looking over your shoulder. And just maybe, you know, some bad games have shot his confidence forever. And it's very hard for him to recover. And then because you're worried about making mistakes, you make mistakes. Yeah, he's boat sailed. Think about Adarabioyo. Mike James, Adarabioyo. You've not spelled it right, have you? Adarabioyo. You spelled it right. Tosin Adarabioyo would probably do a better job than Mangala. What interesting thing about Tosin is that he's not gone on the trip. He's come back from West Brom and he's not gone on the tour, which you'd think, you know, if he was going to train with the first team squad, he'd go on the tour. So my only logical thing is he's either going to be sold or he's going to go out on loan again. See you, Joseph. Have a good evening. Lucien Matemo. Kevin Keegan bought some weird players. Lucien Matemo. We got some clowns in those days. Guys, I think that's my limit as well. So I'm going to bid you farewell. So I'll say goodbye to whoever I can see is still online. So goodbye to Mike. Goodbye to Kamal Dwyer, Mukund Nadkami, Shakti Shiva, Joseph Beattie. I think that's your lot. Chris Welsh is gone. A lot of people have gone. So if you haven't already clicked like, guys, get that like button pressed. And yeah, I'll hopefully see you tomorrow after the first game of pre-season. First game against West Ham. Really interested to see what happens. And yeah, I'll give a report somehow tomorrow. Maybe not directly after the game because I've got to go and pick my kids up. So I'll be gone for a couple of hours. But fingers crossed I'll see the game and I'll give a bit of a report and give my thoughts. Or we might just leave it to when we do the live stream in the evening and then everybody can comment on the game. I mean, that's going to be the major talking points are going to be that game. So we'll talk about it tomorrow. Just depends on time, guys. And but anyway, hopefully see you tomorrow, guys. Take it easy. Have a good evening, everybody. And behave yourselves and stay safe.